Very sorry. I think there seems to be a little bit of power fluctuation in my place. So that is why this kind of difficulty is there experiencing now. Not to worry, whenever such thing happen, it's just a matter of 1 minute, I'll come back. Okay. So I'm going to relaunch that particular poll because before I could declare that this thing went off. Okay. I'm going to relaunch that. Yeah, I have again relaunched this poll. So kindly answer once again because that got disconnected in between. A few more. We have now 54 people. So 42 have answered. So anywhere 45 to 48, if I get an answer, I'll stop. All right, I'll now stop. I'm ending the poll. Okay, here is the result. We got about 33% of people in the category of 2 to 4 lakhs income. 33%. 17% is into 4 to 6 lakhs per annum. So if you add these two and then 20% in the bracket of less than 2 lakhs. So if you add these three portions, if you see 50 plus 20, 70% of this group are earning less than 6 lakhs per month, per annum. Okay, less than 6 lakhs per annum. So this is the information that we all have got. Now my training will accordingly move forward and see that how these people should get into the bracket of, at least 10 lakhs and above during this year, this current year, provided they follow what systems I'm now going to tell you all. Okay, if you follow these kind of systems, I've got about 17% people who are in the category of 10 lakhs and above. Congratulations to them. You've already seen reasonable success in your life. Very good. 17% of the people are like that. But I think majority of them are less than that. But I want all these people to shift to 10 lakhs and above income group. So how many of you feel excited to know that you all are going to see this kind of numbers? Okay, just if you say excited, you just say X. X is enough. Just say if you're all excited to know that you're going to learn this, just simple X is enough. Excited. Okay, great. All of you. Fine. Very nice. My now last question on the poll part of it. This is also a very sensitive question where here also you need to be reasonable in your asking and you should be, we should be fair. You should be fair and reasonable in asking this. Okay, I'm just trying to find out what is your income goal. Okay, so please avoid scratching in my screen. Okay, if anybody has done that, please remove it. Okay, I won't be able to remove that scratch. So I would like to see, who would like to get into the bracket high. Over, shall I end it now? Or some more people are writing? Yeah, I think some more are filling up. Another 10, 15 seconds, I'll wait. Okay, we've got about nearly 46 people answering this as against 56 people. Okay. So now I'm going to end the poll and look at the kind of expectations people have. Okay, I'm going to share the results. All of you have a look. Okay, so this says that close to around 13 plus 11. 13 plus 11 is about 24. So that is 27 plus 23. It's about 50%. 50% plus 17%. Okay, it's about 67%. 67% and people are wanting an income anywhere between 6 lakhs to 25 lakhs per annum. Okay, this is the majority of the people. 67% of this group are looking at an income of 6 to 25 lakhs per annum. Now we have 10% of this group, okay, which means in the total of about 58 people now, if you take 10%, should be around close to around 5 people, right? 5 of them are looking at 60 lakhs and above. That's very nice. That's very good. 60 lakhs and above. 6% of this group is looking at 40 to 60 lakhs per annum. So that's the number that they are looking. 8% is looking at 25 to 40 lakhs per annum. Great. So now I'm clear. Now this exercise was very essential for me to understand that what is your expectation and where are you currently and how do I take my training program forward. Okay. Thank you so much for being honest and good. So how was this exercise? All of you felt good about it? If you felt good about this, just say G. You all felt G? Good about it? Just say G. All of you felt good about it, right? When you wrote that number, that 40 to 60 and then 15 to 25 and all that, it gives you a great feeling, right? So this is the kind of number that you should be looking for. That's the number. But what has happened in the past? We had nearly about 60% less than 6 lakhs. Okay. Now 60% of the people want between 6 lakhs to 60 lakhs. So when your expectation is very high, right? And when your past is something different, now how do we bridge this gap? The gap has to be filled up now. The past has not been all that encouraging. The future expectation seems to be very nice. There is a market scenario outside which says that it is Corona, no market, problems and all that. So how do we do that? Okay. There are questions like, during pandemic, do you think that anybody will buy property? This is the question some people are asking. Where is real estate market? It has gone down totally. Many people have shut down offices. Many people have sacked people. Salaries are not being paid. All these kind of issues are there. So in these kind of situations, here is a man who is coming and talking about real estate training and asking an expectation. What is your expectation? And you say that, okay, anywhere between this value to this value, you can see. Okay. This is what I'm saying. It's a question mark coming to everybody's mind. Okay. First of all, remove that. Okay. Remove all the question mark, all the ifs and buts and doubts and, whether it will happen, it will not happen, all these kind of questions. If you remove it and just like a parachute, just open your mind and keep listening to me for the next 3 days time, right? By the end of three days, I can assure you one thing, that you will go back with a feeling that yes, it is possible. I think if I follow these steps, it is possible. Okay, this is what I'm going to give you a little bit of assurance right in the beginning of the training program. Okay, now you need to know about at what background that I'm going to tell you this. Who am I? How have I seen any great success like this? I'm going to say few things about myself. We have finished our thing. Now in this 3 days training program, I'm going to teach you on the following concepts. How to become digital real estate expert. So you need to become digitally strong because the world is now moving towards digital. And you have to, if you are not there in that, if you don't upgrade your skill to become a digital real estate guy, then you will be out of the business very soon. So in order not to be out of the business, you need to get into this business. You need to become digitally strong. People should not find difficulty in getting into Zoom, getting into WhatsApp, getting into automation part and all those things. If you find it difficulty, then you need to learn. You need to be open enough to go and learn these kind of techniques, skills, and then become digitally strong. Okay, this is very, very important. Then I'm going to tell you how people are working in a direction which is wrong direction, and they're failing. So I'm going to make you aware that when I tell you this, how people are working in a direction to fail, right? You will realize that what mistakes you have been doing so far. 100% I can tell you that when I keep telling you that, yeah, I did this. Yeah, I did this. Yeah, I was doing like this only. I am still doing like this only. You will get a feeling that, yeah, correct. What he says is right, right? This is how I've been doing. Now, when you are realizing that these kind of mistakes you're doing, now your mind will start shifting to what solutions I'm giving for that. So if you're failing, then what you should be doing not to fail in future. So I'm going to teach you that, right? How and when you are actually ready for real estate business. So many people are thinking, especially people who are in that category of less than 2 lakhs, less than 4 lakhs and all that, are thinking that you are already doing real estate business. But you will be surprised when I tell you that, you will realize that, no, I'm not at all into business. What he says is right. I'm still not ready, because you're not ready at all. You might be there in the field for the last 3 years now. But after 3 years, I'm going to make you realize that you are not in the real estate business now. It will strike your mind, okay? Then I'm going to tell you, how do you prospect sellers, developers? You can learn this. Then I'm going to teach you on how to prospect buyers and retain them with you. How do you retain them? You get a buyer, right, fine. Buyer prospects are there. But the buyer prospect, keeps moving to different brokers, different agents. Now, how do we retain them? Getting buyer itself is difficult. Now, after getting that, he moves away to somebody else. Now, I need to retain him. So how do we do that? What kind of automation you should be using, to retain buyers? So I'm going to teach you on that. How to network with other agents. This anyway you have been doing. You've been in the groups and all that. But I'm going to make you realize that even being in WhatsApp group and all that, what all mistakes that we have been doing in WhatsApp group, I'll make you realize that, so that you don't repeat that mistake in future. Then how to ensure site visit happens. People promise, buyers promise that I'll make a visit, I'll give you a date and all that. And then at the fag end of the time, I've seen people going to the particular site, and then from there they call up to find out what happened. Then he says, no, some emergency aa gaya tha, so I could not come. I'm sorry about it. So you realize after going to that particular place, then he's not coming. So we need to ensure that the site visit really happens. Your time is not wasted, so that you are very, very, very clear about when you are going to visit, and make sure that the buyers who are promised also come there. Then we will also learn how to close deals. Okay. Buyer has shown interest in the property, but now you need to get into closure of deal, right? This is where majority of the people fail. In the closing of deals, people fail. So we will learn how do we do that. Okay. Then also finally, we will discover that how we can work together. You and us, we can work together. So these are the things that I'm going to cover in the next 3 days time. So there will be a lot of other points. I'll be asking in between questions from you, answering some questions from you. All that will happen. But broad perspective, these are the points that I'm going to cover in the training program. So is it all good? What do you feel? Have I left out anything? Is there anything that you want to ask me? That what about this, sir? How about, can you cover that point? If I have missed out anything, you can mention here. Or do you think that all these points are okay? So deals close nahi hoti, project bhi theek hai. Okay, all covered. Right? Is there so Vivo 1904? Your question will be answered. That is, deals close nahi hoti. Definitely we will discuss on that, how to close deals. Okay, baat karenge uske baare mein. All covered. Anything else? No other points? Everybody feels it is okay? I'm not getting that mass reply from you. Okay, you can just say all covered means AC. AC is enough. You don't have to type the entire all covered and all that. AC is enough. Just keep saying AC so that I'm clear that everything is covered. Or if anything is not covered, you can tell me this is not covered. How to get clients? I've covered in that. Buyers, prospects. Okay, I've covered. I'll be touching on that also. AC. Fine. Everybody feels that it is covered. Good. So now let me move on. So if I'm talking about people, who can earn close to around 60 lakhs and above. So there are people who are also asking that I would like to earn more than 60 lakhs. Okay. Who can teach people who can earn the 60 lakhs and above? And that person should have earned that kind of money, right? If I have seen that kind of money, if I've seen that kind of success, I have got the right to come and educate people to make you understand that yes, you can, because I've done it. Since I've done it, I can tell you what I have done it. I'm going to share that experience with you, so you can also do that. So I'm already in that capacity, number one. Number two, who else can teach? A person of, sir, at least age-wise, if you see, I'm reasonably at 58. I'm 58 right now. I think majority, I didn't ask you one question on the poll, that at what age group you are there. I'm sure that very few people, maybe around 1-2%, 2 or 3% might be there who are elder to me. Otherwise, everybody else is younger to me. So I've got that elderly figure also to educate you, train you, and make you understand that this is what you need to follow, because I've gone through that. Got about 18 years of experience in this field. And at a very, very young age, I realized that, you should not depend on one income source. You need to have multiple sources, because in terms of emergency situation like this, which happens, there are other streams of revenue which keeps coming to you and takes care of your living, takes care of your kitchen, takes care of your family. All these things should happen. If similar kind of situation happens like this, then what do we do if you're depending only on one income stream? So I have got into multiple income streams. Okay. So I am a digital real estate expert. I call myself proud because I'm digitally very strong in this. And I have I'm naming myself as digital real estate specialist and coach. Okay. And my mission is to make 1,100,000, that is 100,000 real estate agents as digital real estate experts. This is my mission. Okay. So I'll just give you my YouTube link for you to see the number of videos that a real estate guy is having. You can see the number of videos that I'm going to have. I'm going to show you now my channel. You see here, this is recently done, just about 1 day ago. You can see 1 day ago. 1 day ago, this is a buyer, myself, and a developer having a Zoom call, try Zoom call, where project explanation is being given, project presentation is being given. You can see the number of videos that here. Okay. I can keep on going like this. You can see me sitting here. Okay. So at least about 40 to 50 videos have been generated in the last 2 months, 2 to 2.5 months time. Okay, this is my digital world now already. And over a period of time, this will be flooded with videos and videos. And all. Even now, this is being recorded, it will be uploaded. So naturally, today's video will be there, tomorrow's video will be there. It will keep on going like this. Okay. Then the next point is my Facebook page. This is my Facebook page. Okay. So when it was So it comes with the music, it comes with the bang, it comes saying that, look, I'm the real estate guy, right? It comes with that kind of a thing, Facebook page, which is already digitally strong, you know. These are signs of a digital guy. You know, when you send WhatsApp, your digital visiting card to a customer, what kind of an impression you are going to create in his minds. Okay. Now, Remax, you know, I'm a part of the business owner. I'm a business owner of one unit in Bangalore, and I'm also a part of a Delhi office where Mr. Rakesh Kuller is right now there. Okay, we both have our own websites. I don't know how many of you have seen this. People who have joined from Delhi. Have you all seen this website? मिस्टर कुल्लर आई थिंक पब्लिश में कुछ प्रॉब्लम हो गया है, पब्लिश नहीं हुआ लगता है. ओके, 1 मिनट. हाँ, this is my website at Bangalore, Remax Ace Reality. Okay, it has property offerings from all parts of the country. It doesn't belong only to Bangalore. You can see Mumbai property here, Thane property here, right? So you can see Goa properties here, all kinds of properties, close to around nearly 600 plus properties are available in this website. Then I have a salon called Green Trends. Green Trends is a very well-known brand in South India. It has got nearly close to around 400 plus outlets in all over India, and I am one of the franchisee of this. Green Trends is a sister concern of Kevin Care. Kevin Care is a well-known. I think people will know about it. This is one other business that I'm into. The third business that I'm into is Fill in the Box, which is a cloud kitchen. You know, where we have partnered with Swiggy and Zomato, and our role is to cook food and deliver it to customers through taking support of Swiggy and Zomato. So that is the third business that I have. And I have two charity events, charity organization. One is the No Hungry Child, which we are into. This I'm going to show. What I'm going to show you is the next one, Art of Self-Treatment. Art of Self-Treatment is, you know, the name itself says that, you know, you don't have to go to a doctor or Ayurvedic doctor or something. Natural remedies will be taught to you in this. Okay, this is what I'm actually showing you. All that you need to do is, you need to come here. Let's say that you have a health issue. Okay, so you just say, let's say it's something to do with stomach. You put stomach here, and you will get an answer here. Some search things comes here, stomach pain. Click this stomach pain. And then it will give you an article. This article will give you details about what kind of remedies you can use at home. Remedy 1, remedy 2, remedy 3 are given here, which means the home remedies are being given. All this is being done absolutely free of cost. No charges for this. Okay. Then I have this No Hungry Child. You can see this. I'm just not going to play the entire video. I have a website called nohungrychild.in. So you can see a number of videos here. I mean, when you come to No Hungry Child, put No Hungry Child Bangalore in YouTube, you'll at least see about 400, 500 videos of this. Okay, and I have a website called No Hungry Child. This is my website where I'm giving free nutritious meals for underprivileged children. So these are the activities that I'm into. Okay, we'll move further. Now let's get into the subject matter now. Why 85% of real estate agents fail? How many of you agree? Now I'll ask this question in a poll. I may have to create this poll. Okay, I'm going to create this poll and ask you a question. How many of you really feel 85% people fail? So something is not working. So no problem. I'll get into a chat box question. So can you tell me that I want an answer from you? How many of you agree? If you agree, you say A, right? I would say that 85% of the real estate agents are failing in this country. They have failed. Yay, yay. Unprofessional approach. Yay. Right. So most of you agree that 85% of the people are failing. Okay. So we need to understand why they fail. Okay, let's understand why they fail. People don't fail, but their plans fail. Okay, people's plan fail. What kind of plan they come with? They come with probably a handful of about 1 or 2 properties in hand. Okay, and they say that I'm going to get into business because they've seen some for sale board somewhere or to let board somewhere. And real estate is a field where you can easily enter. There is no license required. This was the past, right? Right now, RERA and all has come, but prior to RERA coming, still people are in the bracket of unorganized sector only. They have not taken RERA license. They are not licensed people. They have not gone through formal education of real estate. And because of that reason, they get into this field very easily. There were days when even, laundry people, the people who are ironing in the corner of the road, they were also into real estate business. The watchmen were into real estate business. Milkmen, they were into real estate business. Okay. But of course, now they have all gone. They are all not there. But still, we have got a lot of local people, okay, who are still in similar kind of atmosphere and doing business, real estate business. Okay. How do they come? With 1 or 2 properties, they come. Now, my question to all of you is that supposing, let's say that we will take a hypothetical example of a Kirana stores being opened. Okay. You are opening a Kirana stores. The job of the Kirana stores is to provide rice and provision items to everybody, rice, wheat, right? All these things have to be provided to people. And you have a lot of items in a Kirana stores. This is one shop where it has got every single item that is required for a kitchen. There is also another shop where you have opened that with just 1 or 2 items because you don't want to invest too much onto the business. You don't want to spend money. You don't want to invest money. So you want to start with 1 or 2 items. Let us see how customers are coming. After that, I will do something. Okay. So you open one shop where you got only 2 items, wheat and dal, wheat or rice and dal. Okay. And another shop has got everything in under the sky for kitchen items. The question is, when customers have to come here, where will they go? They will come to you or they will go to that person who has got every item, right? The obvious answer is people who have got, the stores which has got every single item is available. That is where people will go and buy. Customers will go there. People will not come to you because you got only 1 or 2 properties, 1 or 2 items. If it can happen in Kirana stores, it is the same theory applicable here also, even in real estate business. Now, why? Because you have, let us say, 2 properties or 3 properties in hand, right? You expect a buyer to come and see your property and take a decision to buy. Investing around anywhere between 50 lakhs to 3 crores of money. His life savings is being put into purchase of property, right? Why will he see just one or two properties and take a decision of buying it? He will have so many doubts in mind. He wants to get thoroughly satisfied. One property visit is not going to make him decide what to buy. He is going to definitely go and see at least about 30 properties. This was the past. Now people are getting into seeing almost 50 properties. What are they saying? What am I saying? Whether are they seeing 50 properties? Yeah, they are seeing 50 properties. How? Virtually. They are seeing 50 properties virtually, and they are shortlisting about 3 or 4 properties out of these 50 properties. Okay. And the 3 or 4 properties is the one which they will go and visit and take a decision. But the past history and the present history, if you see, I think in the group, if there are some people who can resonate with what I'm trying to tell you right now, you will agree that people with just about 2 or 3 properties in hand, they get into real estate business. Yes or no? I want to know how many people say yes. I really want to understand the crowd psychology. How many people are saying yes to this? So this is the reality. With 2 or 3 properties, if you're coming and entering into real estate business, you are bound to fail. You cannot succeed. So how many properties you should have? You should start with. I'll come to that a little later. I'll tell you why people are failing. Okay. Let me first understand that. Let us all understand why people are failing. So this is the mistake number 1 that they are making, that they come with just about 1 or 2 properties in hand and they fail. Okay. Then they think that there is no investment required. Real estate is something where you can enter free. What is investment? What do I mean by investment? Does it mean that it's something like, you have to invest about 50 lakhs kind of money? You're not a developer. If you're a developer, you should come with big sum of money, but you are an agent. You are a commission agent. So thus the commission agent requires any investment to come forward and invest in this business. So if you think that it is not there, that is why people are failing. There is an investment required. What kind of investment is required? On education, it is required. On learning, it is required, because you need to learn real estate business. Doctors, you can just imagine the doctors when they see lakhs and lakhs of money, crores of money when they are seeing, what is the kind of difficulty that they go through in the beginning stage? They go through 5 years of difficult study. Okay, they invest close to around 30, 40 lakhs kind of money. After graduating, after getting an MBBS degree, they go and work under some doctor who is already experienced and learn from that person for at least 2 to 3 years time. And after that, they become a consultant for a large hospital. They open a clinic for themselves. Okay? And then they start seeing lakhs and lakhs of money. Only then. Okay, which means a doctor who has invested about 30 lakhs of money is waiting for almost 7 to 8 years of time to start seeing lakhs of money. Whereas a real estate agent, okay, the moment he comes out of 10th standard, right? And you see half the time, people who are coming here have not completed the graduation part of it also, and they get into this business and they want to do lakhs of business. They want to earn lakhs and lakhs of money, but they don't want to invest on learning, and they don't want to get trained on real estate business. Straight away they say, हमको सब पता है, क्या करना है? कस्टमर को प्रॉपर्टी चाहिए ना, सो प्रॉपर्टी इधर है ना, दिखाओ प्रॉपर्टी, दिखाओ भाई साहब ये है प्रॉपर्टी, ले लो. ऐसे थोड़ी ले लेगा वो. But just because you are saying that property is, this is the property, you buy this property and he will listen to you. You need to have thorough knowledge about this. Okay, so this is another mistake that they are thinking, that there is no investment required. That is why they fail. Another investment that is required, this is not an investment, this is nothing but working capital. This business is such that universe will give you money only when you provide service. Your income is directly proportionate to the kind of service that you are giving. Okay, what is the kind of service that you have to give? If a buyer, there is a prospect who is available in front of you, who is wanting to buy, he must think that you are a consultant. You are something like a doctor for him. Okay, the doctor should be highly knowledgeable about the real estate industry. Unless you are thorough with the knowledge of industry, then you are not capable of giving any advice to buyer. And don't expect him to buy from you just because you're showing one property here. Okay, you must have thorough knowledge about that property. What do you mean by thorough knowledge? You need to know, I'm not saying that you should know what kind of cement quality that he has used, what kind of brick he has used, right? What kind of steel he has used in the construction, what kind of mud, sand he has used in construction. I'm not saying that these are things that you should learn about it. No, these are not required. These are too technical, that is not required. What is basically required is that if the property is available at a particular location, you should know how old is this property. Supposing you're selling a resale property, you should know how old is this property, right? What are the location advantages? Where is the nearby school? Where is the nearby hospital? If somebody has to go for, where is the bus stand close by? Where is the commuting possibility? Is there an auto rickshaw stand available close by? Will Ola and Uber come here, right? This is the kind of knowledge that you should have. Whether similar properties which are available there, at what price they are getting sold, what is the land price, what is the guideline value of that particular property there, which is located there. Okay, if it is a new property, about the new property, you need to know about the developer. You need to know how many projects he has completed. Okay, is this the first project that he is doing, or is it the 8th project that he is doing? Where all he has completed projects? How many projects he has completed? Right? What is the customer satisfaction of those people who have purchased properties from him? Look at the kind of knowledge that you should acquire before you go and present yourself to your buyer. Are we doing this? Our knowledge on all these things is zero. Okay, people who have failed, I'm not talking about people who have succeeded. People who have succeeded definitely have got knowledge about all these things. That is why they are in the bracket of 40 to 60 lakhs. Okay, so look at the people who are in the bracket, 60% of the group who are there here are in the bracket of less than 6 lakhs is mainly because of their lack of knowledge about all these things. They don't go with a comparative studies chart. The buyer is saying, buyer will want the price at the lowest. Seller will think that his property is Taj Mahal. So he will sell at the highest price. Buyer will want the price at the lowest price. There will be a gap of 30 lakhs between what he is quoting and what he is willing to offer. Whether both are justified, or both of these people are justified in asking, seller, is he justified in asking that price? Buyer, is he justified in asking his price? Do you know about it as a consultant? Okay, do you know about this? So how do we gain this knowledge? How do we get this knowledge, whether the price quoted is right or wrong? By studying that market. The property that you are selling, you should know about it, about the project very well, and you should know which is the nearby competitors for that particular developer, who are the competitors, at what kind of pricing they are offering, why they are offering at that kind of a price, and whereas this developer is asking more price. What is the difference between the two? There you must have a complete comparative study in writing. Okay, you cannot just simply say over the phone or verbally you cannot say. You say that no sir, uska quality ठीक नहीं है, इसका quality बहुत बढ़िया है, इसका reputation बहुत बढ़िया है, इसका उतना ठीक नहीं है sir. That is why there is a price difference here. That is why this is happening. This kind of difference is there. ऐसे बोलने से कोई मानेगा नहीं. Nobody will understand, nobody will listen to you. But if you show with a piece of paper, right? Take a book like this and open it and show him that this is how, this is the reason for this and this is the reason for that, right? Then at least he is going to believe he has done some homework to kiya hai. That is why he is telling like this. So there must be some sense in what he is telling. So all this information is available, but how many of us really go and study this? We don't. So that is why people fail. Part-timers. People get into part-time business. Okay, salaried people want to get into real estate business because money is big. They've seen somebody, at least one deal करने से 2 लाख 3 लाख मिल जाएगा. ओके, सो साल भर का जो कमाई है वो एक दो डील में हो जाएगा. Perception. So they are there in the job. They don't want to leave their job. They want to get in as a part timer and then do business. यहाँ full timer को पैसा नहीं मिलता है. Full time people who are putting 8 hours, 20 hours of work day in and day out, they are not able to get money. How can a part timer get business done? If they are coming with that kind of an intention that part time business will happen, they're mistaken. It will happen probably if they're lucky. Maybe in 1 year they may do about 1 or 2 sales here and there. It is not possible to do it on a regular basis. Okay, if money is so big and if you're confident of doing very well, you can straight away get into full time. Why are you not getting into full time then? Why part time? In part time, what are the difficulties that you're going to face? Now you're sitting in front of a manager in a meeting. Now, Pat comes a call from your prospective buyer saying that he wants some information and he's calling you, and you won't be able to take the phone in front of your manager. Okay, because you're working, you're in a meeting with your manager. So how is he going to allow you to take that call? Can you say, excuse me, manager sir, मुझे एक buyer का call आया है, तो मैं जाके थोड़ा attend करके मैं बाद में आ जाऊंगा? बोल सकते क्या? नहीं बोल सकते. So what happens? The buyer gets annoyed because you're not picking up your phone. And then later on, then you blame the buyer because he doesn't pick up your follow-up call. Okay, ये होता है. So part-time, I don't say that you should not get into part-time. You can, because I'm not saying that you quit your job and come and join this real estate business. I'm not necessarily saying that. But when you're doing that, you should be honest in admitting the fact to your prospective buyers or sellers कि मैं नौकरी कर रहा हूँ सर. Okay, ये मैं part-time ले रहा हूँ, but I will be able to get into this full-time later on. But right now, I'm in the learning mode. So I'm doing this business in part-time. Saturday, Sunday, I'm available for site visits. And after 6 o'clock, I'm available to take phone calls. Before 9 o'clock, I'm available to, before 10 o'clock, I'm available to take phone calls. But during the day, if I'm not able to take calls of yours, please don't mistake. I can message you, I can WhatsApp you, I can do these kind of services to you, provide these kind of services, but don't mistake me if I don't pick up your call. Honestly, bolna chahiye. They don't want to say that because part-timer bolne se that the customer will not encourage you, no? So you won't tell him. So you will hide the information and you will go and tell him that no, wo karenge sir. Then you get into practical problems like this, and then the business fails, and you say that real estate industry is not good. Because 85% of the people have failed. 85% of the people are failing because of this reason. Okay, they are doing it wrongly. They are in the wrong direction. No experience. Now, they are very good at office, and they are doing something here and there and all that. And the school, college, they have done very well, and they think that they are too good. Okay, but real estate business is such a wonderful business that you need to gain experience to be a master of that. If you have to become a master of real estate business, then you need to have that kind of experience in that. So how do we get this experience when somebody wants to enter into business? However big you are, however, when I was a vice president of, I was a general manager of a software company in 2000, 1999, 1995 to 2000, I was the general manager of one software company, which was doing 500 crore business. Okay, people announced that I'm going to become now vice president of the company in another 1 month's time. That was the time that Y2K problem came, 2000, in the year 2000. Y2K means, 1999, till then it was 1995, 96, 97, 98, tab tak problem nahi tha. 2000 when it comes, everybody thought that the global time watch is going to change, and all software is going to get into issues. You will not be getting the same kind of software, which is whatever was working till then will not start working after 2000. This kind of a myth and rumor was spread. And there was a heavy recession at the time. People, lost their jobs. People, did not get their salaries. And I was also a victim of that. Okay, 6 months I was not paid salary for after 2000. See, till then I was the general manager of the company. In another 1 month's time, I'm going to become vice president of the company. And this Y2K comes. For the next 6 months, no salary after that. Imagine. Okay. But then when I had to quit at a time that, okay, this corporate world is no longer required for me, let me become an entrepreneur. That is the time I became an entrepreneur. So when I became an entrepreneur, two things I came into focus. One, you give something, you will get something. Give something means कुछ देना है पहले पाने के लिए, कुछ पाने के लिए पहले देना पड़ेगा. Okay, बाद में you will be able to get that. So I went with that kind of a thing. So I got into charity first. So if I'm getting about 100 rupees, I used to give 10% of that, 10 rupees, take it and dhan karta tha. So then what happened, when I was doing this kind of dhan, I used to get more and more money because I'm a giver. When you become a giver, you will start getting money more. So you have to become a giver to get that. Second experience that I learned was that if I have to get into what I chose was real estate business because my expenses were so high by then, because my salary bracket was so high. And when I lost the job and no salary was there, I had to get into a business which can give me big money. The big money possibility was only real estate. So real estate, aaya tha. Believe me, for next 2 years, I earned zero money. After I quit the company, after I took up the real estate business, for first 2 years, I had zero income. Why that zero income was? Because I thought I was a vice president. I know everything. I'm sales, I've been in the sales field. So sales is sales everywhere. So what is so big about it? Okay. And with that knowledge, I thought I will do it. And I used to come, show properties to people. And then after the properties are shown, make a phone call, a follow-up call. Follow-up call, he never even picks up the phone call after that. So I was wondering, why is this happening? This was not happening in my IT field. People will respond. They will send you an email. They will send you a WhatsApp message. Those days WhatsApp was not there, but at least SMS message, some reply was happening. But why these guys are not even replying to us? Phone calls are not attended to. So I was wondering what went wrong. It took me 2 years for me to realize that this industry is a different ballgame altogether. Okay, you need to fold your sleeves, get into the field, and then start learning. Okay, that is the time I realized that I should work under somebody. Then, I joined one company which was into broking firm, and there was a workstation being offered to me. The workstation was just about 4.5 to 5 feet, and then one chair behind, and it was a small cubicle, and with one telephone. Okay, that is where I'm sitting. Along with me, there were another about 20 other people were sitting. Okay, along with that. Prior to that, as a general manager, my room was of size 1,000 square feet alone. It had an attached bath, and it had a private room where if I feel I am very exhausted and I'm very tired and all that, I can go and take rest for about 10 minutes, 15 minutes. For that, a private room was available for me with curtain so that I can relax there. From that kind of an atmosphere, I got into an atmosphere where a small cubicle was there. And in that cubicle, I was sitting and working. Why did I go to that this thing? And reason is to learn, because that company was doing exceedingly well in real estate business. It was doing very well. It was doing very well in secondary market. So I wanted to go and learn what is that I'm doing wrong, so that this thing. And what was the kind of brokerage that I was being paid. If 1 lakh used to come, okay, in 1 lakh money used to come, brokerage money, 75% of that money will be taken by the company. 25% only will be given to me as my earning. 75% will go to the company. This is the sharing. 75-25 sharing was the thing. And what I have to do for that? I have to identify buyer myself. Okay. I have to identify property for sale myself. Okay. Then 75% why I should give to company? Because I am doing everything. I am getting the seller. I am getting the buyer. What is this company going to do for me? The company, what they were doing was the training part of it. The training was so valuable that I learned a lot from there. And that it was worth paying 75% of the brokerage to them. In 1.5 years, right? From the time that I joined that company, in 1.5 years, I earned my personal income of the 25% was 22.5 lakhs in 1.5 years. This was, imagine the kind of money, brokerage amount that I have given to that company. It's about close to 1 crore. Okay, 1 crore of money was earned as brokerage, and 75% of the money went there, 25% was with me. Okay, but I still felt that that was required. And after that, I mastered the real estate business. After that, I know what works and what doesn't work. Okay, I can make out from a person that he is a genuine buyer or he's not a genuine buyer. He's a time passer or he's a serious buyer. Okay, all this learning came from that training, from that period. So it is very essential for people to go through this kind of rigorous training. Now, if all of you have come here and sitting here to learn something, I'm very happy that you are already in that mode, in that learning attitude mode. This learning attitude must be there. But why this 85% people are failing? Because no experience. They don't know how to do business. That is why they're failing. No learning attitude. I've given you the doctor's example already. Okay. No location knowledge. Location is very, very important about any property that you are taking for selling. You need to master that location area. That area you should know. Today, in the digital world, all information is available in Google. You have to become very friendly with Google. Google will give you all information, all education material, everything under the sky it will give you. You need to have the mind to go and sit in front of the computer and start asking questions, and it will give you answer. Then when about the location, if need arises, you need to go to that location and find out what are the surrounding areas there. How far is the school from this place? You should have pinpoint information. Sir, either say it will take about 10 minutes by auto, 25 minutes by walk, right? And then 700 meters away from this house is that school. This is the accuracy with which you should talk when you are giving location information about the property. Then how the buyer will think about you. He will start respecting you. अरे इसको इतना minute details मालूम है कि 700 meters का बात कर रहा है. He's not telling 1 kilometer. He's telling 700 meters exactly from this. That means so much of knowledge, so much of research you have done about the property before selling the property. This knowledge is required. How many of us are really doing this? No, not at all. Whatever developer gives you information, you just go through the brochure and you do that. Fine. He has done 50-60% of the work he has done. It is always better to work with the developer because he has got a team to sell and you don't have to do the selling. But imagine people who are into real estate secondary market where the money is big. If everybody is thinking that only primary market is the biggest market where we can earn a lot of money, please understand there is a very big market in secondary market. Secondary market is much more easier to sell. Much more easier to sell than the primary market. Why? For what reason? Secondary market you don't get into all these local initial problems like plumbing problem, electrical problem, marble cracking problem. All these things will not be there. Everything would have been taken care of. Because when you go to a new property, just imagine construction is over, you are ready to move and you go and occupy and you go there and start living in that place. For next 2 years, you will be undergoing problems like plumbing ka problem hoga, water leakage hote rahega, seepage will be there. Ek rainfall aane do ki andar se pani aane niklega. Okay. Then outside you will see that the sanitation is a problem, drainage is a problem. All these issues will be there in any new property, be it Prestige, be it Sobha, be it any other company, any big developer you see. In big A category developers, the problems will be minimized because they are already experienced people. They would have taken care of most of the problem, but still you cannot avoid those kind of small issues which are there. But on the secondary market, the only disadvantage is that it is 10 years old or 5 years old. This is the news information you will get. Because of that, people don't want to buy that. But in the secondary market, when you go and buy a property of this kind, all that you need to do is one little bit of renovation work and everything else is set there. There is no watchman problem, there's no drainage problem, there's no plumbing problem, because everything else has been taken care by the previous person who has been staying there. That is why, you find that the rental opportunities that you get when you get into a new house and all that, you won't face many problems there. But for some teething problems here and there, that's all. But in a new property, this problem is there. So am I saying that you should not go for new property? No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying between the two markets, okay, this market is better. Okay, and the sales, when it happens, money comes faster. With the developer, the money comes late. It will take 60 days, it will take 90 days, it will take 45 days, depends on what the developer is saying. You would have sold the property, but you have to wait. Here in the resale property, it is an individual who gives you money. So here the money comes faster. So that is the advantage, differentiation. Both has got merits and demerits. This also has got merit and demerit. Between the two, I'm saying that secondary market is slightly better than the primary market, according to me. I don't say the difference is too much. No, 60-40, 60-40. 60-40 is okay. In developer market, the advantage is that you don't have to have knowledge about that location because everything else is taken care by the sales team of developer. They will take care of convincing the customer. Your job is only taking a customer, scooter mein bitha do, leke jao, chhod do, bas. The rest he will do, he will take care of. Okay, that is one advantage. In the resale market, it doesn't happen. You have to have thorough knowledge about that. That's the disadvantage in resale market. But if you get into this knowledge acquiring mode, then the life will be very good for you. It will be fabulous. Okay. Then no property project knowledge. I've already told you about this. We've covered this point. Comparative study is very important. Comparative study means whether it is a new project or old project, secondary market or primary market, you need to have a comparative study material. That is, a sheet should be there. Even if you laminate and keep it, he will like it. Buyer will like that you have got a comparative study. You should be in a position to show difference of nearly 5 properties in a particular location. Why this property is better than the rest of the 5. You should have that. You should have all the plus points and minus points of all other properties in writing, in computerized sheet, and laminated also if it is done, and that will give you professionalism. So when you are sitting in front of the customer and talking about, giving him knowledge about the comparative study of what the other projects are and all that, he's going to salute you. Then he will become a family man of that buyer. The buyer will start thinking that agar dusra property agar lena hai, so let me go and discuss with this person because he has got terrific knowledge about the industry. So he will respect you and he will come to you. This is what you need to equip yourself to become. And then when other thing is, when right opportunity comes, they don't take. What is the right opportunity? For example, now right opportunity, I'm telling you, you come, join with us, this is the right opportunity for you. But out of this group, I'll tell you 50-60% of the people will say, nahi hota hai. The opportunity is given, but they lose it. If they come and join me, okay, join us, join our organization, you can definitely see this income of 50 to 60 lakhs or whatever you're talking about. All that is possible in this company. But opportunity is coming. Nahi, sochenge. Nahi, sir. Sochna padega. Opportunity has come, but you're missing it. The same person will come and join after 2 years or after 1 year. I've seen people 2 years back, they have attended the Remax presentation. They have not joined. 2 years later, they have come and joined. They lost 2 years, 2 valuable years. They have lost. Because ultimately, the brand is what is going to speak about. Today, who is going to depend on a local broker? When you are going and buying a t-shirt for yourself, you're going for a branded showroom. When you are going and eating food in a restaurant, you look for a branded restaurant. KFC chahiye, McDonald's chahiye. Okay, all these things. You won't go to one Shastri Bhavan, local. Whereas, when it comes to property purchase, where will the buyer go? Buyer will go to a branded broker or a local broker, or a roadside somebody is there. On the corner, there is one, some properties are available. Local properties available. Will he go there or will he go to a branded company? So the opportunity is being given to you. Come, join us. No, you won't join. You will still continue to suffer for next 2 years. After that, your realization comes, then you come. This is why these people fail. So I think today it's been more of, talking about why agents fail. And primarily, I wanted to convey that this is what with background with which people are in this business, and they are failing, and you need to change yourself. So tomorrow, when I come back and talk to you, I'll be talking to you about how this whatever is the minus points that we had in the past. Now, how do we convert that into a positive points? How do we approach our business in future tomorrow? Okay, you will learn about it. So for today, this should be good enough. I think we have taken about 1 hour and 25 minutes, 20 minutes. So this should be good enough for the first day. Tomorrow, I'll take up the balance topics. Okay. So let me now take a quick feedback from people. So did I make sense in what I was talking today? If I made sense, you say, yes, you made sense. Fully you right. Yes, you made sense. Three participants raised hand. Okay. So what you want to talk to me? Okay, I'll unmute them. Suraj. I'll unmute you. You want to say something? I'm giving you now, I'm actually allowing people to unmute themselves. Okay. So that you can unmute and speak for 1 or 2 minutes if you want to. Yeah, I have given that tick mark. Allow participants to unmute yourself. So if you want to say something, you can say something. Anyone wants to say something?
Hello.
Yeah, I'm listening, but very, very, very feeble voice.
Yeah, sir, this is Arvind from Gurgaon.
Arvind Kumar. Yes, Arvind.
Yeah, just I want to say that, sir, some brokers don't want to do business. Hello.
There was some audio problem. Yeah.
Yeah, audio problem. Sir,
Hello. Hello.
The issue is this. The moment I unmute, this is.
Hello.
Yeah. Can somebody say that I want to talk? I'll unmute only that person. Just message me here. Just message me here. I'll unmute that person in the chat box. Who wants to say something? Arvind Kumar. Okay, let me unmute you.
hello.
Arvind, yes, Arvind, tell me.
Yeah, just I want to say that, sir, there is no more transparency in this business because some broker or some companies want to take more commission and they don't give proper commission to their employees. So that's the problem in this business also, sir.
Yeah, see this, you have raised a very, very valid point that the transparency is lacking because of the brokerage sharing part of it. Okay. But it doesn't happen actually. See, the declaration of brokerage is being given by the developer to all channel partners. If you see, they will say that 2.5%, 3%, or 4%, whatever is there, it is in writing. It is in a writing, and then it is being disclosed. transparently. And there are few developers who are not that A category kind of developers. They are the people who are actually not giving the right information. Okay. So what you need to do, you need to associate with that group of people who are transparent, who are very open in telling you that this is the exact percentage of brokerage that we give you. You need to work for them. But unfortunately, what you will do is that you will go and take even that turn and start fighting with that person, saying that you give me the right brokerage and all those things. Why do you want to do that business with him? If he is not transparent, if he is not good, why you want to go and work with him? You better, there are so many people who are very good in the marketplace. Go and work with those people and get brokerage. And there are levels of people. See, there are, if you are joining a company, for example, Remax mein, wo hota hai? Because Remax mein, what happened, if 3% is being given, we tell right in front of everybody that there is a sharing which goes between you and Remax. That we clearly, openly tell them, even before joining, we tell them that. So there is a transparency in that, telling you. So therefore, and Remax is such a company that where training and, developer relationship, everything is perfect. Everything is very good. So you need to get into those kind of organizations and start working rather than depending on somebody outside who is not very transparent. Okay, anybody else would like to say something?
Yeah, Shigarji. Hello.
Hanji. Yes.
I want to just add to this by saying that Remax doesn't employ people. Remax empowers partners. And the only way to compensate partners is through sharing. And so the sharing is a absolute given. It's granted in the DNA of the company that whatever the developer is providing is made available to the broker. And as and when the commission comes, it will be shared because there is no other source of income. We will only earn when we earn together. And there is no salary plus commission. So we don't have those kind of issues. कि भाई salary देने में ही पैसा चला गया, तो brokerage कहाँ से दे? So people make promises and can't keep them because they have other overheads, other issues. We also have, but they are minimal. And the only way to keep the relationship healthy and is to share the commissions transparently. And this is happening globally in 8,000 offices over the last 46 years. Thank you.
That is the power. See, 46 years, this company is there, which is doing this kind of business. That is why, we are very, our model is most successful. During the pandemic time, why Remax agents have done better than everybody else is because this has been a practice and culture for the last 40 plus years. Okay, Mahesh Shantapa is asking one question. Sir, I have a question. Currently working, need to sometime, I would like to quit and become a full-time realtor. Will I be able to start making money in real estate part-time at this stage? Is your question. Okay. My answer to that is, it is possible. But how do you have to do this business today is, you need to partner with one more networking agent who will be able to, who is full-time in real estate business, network with him and then do business. It can happen if you join Remax, because here you might be part-timer, but we have got full-timers also. So you need to connect with them. So you have a buyer who is ready for inspection. Your partner in full-time in Remax, that guy will take up the responsibility of showing the property to your customer. And only thing is, once the brokerage is coming, both of you should share each other. So this is the job that you have to be prepared for. And this is the kind of sharing that you should be willing to give it to him. Then you can make money. Otherwise, it is difficult for you because you won't be able to get into inspection part of it. Okay. Yeah, I think I have answered your question. Anybody else has got a question? Okay. So if there is no other question, then we can wind up for today, and we can meet again tomorrow at same time, 11:25. Please come over and let's warm up for about 5 minutes, and 11:30 we can start the session. Tomorrow it's going to be very, very interesting because I'm going to tell you something about, how good we are going to do business. Because today realization was required for people, saying that these are the mistakes that, we have been making in the past. I think most of you would have realized that, yes, I was making similar kind of mistakes in the past. Now that realization has come in today. It will start making you think about what I said today. The whole day you will be thinking about whether what I made sense to you or not. Then tomorrow you come with a fresh mind. Tomorrow I'm going to tell you how better you can do business in this real estate. Okay. Thank you so much. You have been a wonderful audience. Bye-bye.